All right, what's up, guys? Good morning. Okay, so it's about 9:30 right now. It's Wednesday, day 15, 60-day transformation. So I'm gonna go head downstairs. I'm at work right now. I'm gonna do my weigh-in. I took my waist measurement this morning. It was 81 centimeters, so down almost an entire centimeter. So that's good. But yeah, we'll head down and we'll see what the scale says. Okay, getting ready to hop on the scale. Last last weigh in last week it was 67.7, I think, something like that. So interesting. Okay. So not really much change. Um, Not much change, but the waist measurement went down. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, no real change on the scale, but the waist measurement's down almost a centimeter. So I think kind of what's happened is things have just evened out. Like last week, I dropped almost 2 pounds on the scale, but my waist measurement hadn't really changed. So I kind of think right now it's just evened out. So like anecdotally, just like from everything that I've heard, it's like this is a pretty rough guesstimate, but like every centimeter on your waist corresponds to about 2 pounds of fat, kind of roughly speaking. So it kind of makes sense. If I've lost a centimeter on the waist, 2 pounds since the transformation started, yeah, it's kind of evened out. So yeah, that's good. I'm gonna call that a win. All right, yeah. So it's the end of the day here. I am just at the cafe. I had a little bit of ice cream, and I'm gonna go home after this and have some dinner. See how the weigh-in went pretty well. I mean, at this point, it's 2 weeks. I've lost a solid 2 pounds of fat. I was hoping to lose a bit faster than that, but you know, hopefully next week will be speedier. One of the things I wanted to talk about kind of before I sign off here, I made a whole video on this yesterday. I just did a horrible job of it, so I want to redo it today. Um, it's why I'm kind of changing up my approach. So I stopped doing, you probably noticed I stopped doing the food logs the last few days. Um, there's a reason for that. There's a couple reasons for that. And it's this. I kind of like one of the things I liked about the food log was I like the fact that it kept me accountable and it really made me think twice about like what I was putting in my mouth. So like if I was gonna eat something that was just, you know, just embarrassingly gluttonous, the fact that I would have to include it in that food log would kind of be enough often to dissuade me. So like, what's an example of this? If I was going to have a massive piece of chocolate cake that was 1,000 calories, and I had to write that down in my food log, that's super embarrassing. Plus, I'm sharing my food logs in a lot of forums, so it's just, it's like, it's enough to keep you under control. The thing I didn't like about it, it's this. The thing I didn't like about it is this. There's a couple things. I found that it was fucking with my head a lot. So I spent doing those food logs every single day and writing like every calorie you put in your mouth is a lot of work. Like it's not a lot of time, but it's a lot of mental energy and like yeah, it was really starting to fuck with my head. And the reason is kind of it's just the decisions that I had to make was it was like it was like you're mentally stressing about like oh, like which has more calories, this or this, or which is going to kind of fit exactly into my macros for the day. And because I was tracking like every little calorie, it got down to like the small minutia of like if I use like a tablespoon of oil to cook these veggies, will I have enough for a tablespoon of butter for dessert? And just like kind of ridiculous shit like that. And this music is so shitty. I fucking hate K-pop. yeah, it was a lot of like little decisions like that was just making me neurotic. And like one of those things is I've been really fascinated the last few years on willpower and kind of how it works. And it turns out, because I've looked into this, the way willpower works is it's kind of like a battery, right? You have a certain amount. Your battery is full at the beginning of the day, and the more and as the day goes on, it kind of starts to drain. And there's a number of things that drain your willpower battery, and one of them is decision making. Okay, it's called decision fatigue. And one of the things they've noticed is that for every decision you have to make, any future decision that day afterwards, the quality of that decision is going to be worse. All right. So, kind of, it's one of those things. The less decisions you have to make in a day, the better you'll be. So yeah, I was just constantly making these like food decisions during the day. Like, and I get that you have to make. There's going to be a certain amount of decision making with regard to what you choose to eat in a given day. But when you break it down to like the calorie by calorie level, like when it's down to like the fucking oil that you eat, it's like those decisions add up. And for me, I definitely found it was depleting my willpower. And like by, and the end result was like was kind of overeating some days, especially in the evening. Um, that's one of the things. And the fact that I was doing that, it also meant that I was like constantly thinking about food. Like food was always on my mind, which is the opposite of what you want if you're trying to lose weight. You don't want to be thinking about food all the fucking time. You really don't. I think it was Martin Birkin. I'm such a huge fan of that guy's blog. I wish he'd make a comeback in 2017. But one of the things he was talking about was he said some of his most successful clients are extremely busy people. And one of the reasons they're so successful, especially on diet, is because of the fact that they're so busy means they're not sitting around ruminating about food. Like it almost just becomes an afterthought. And one of the things I noticed was that, like, looking back to the last 60-day challenge, it was kind of, I think one of the reasons I did so well with it is I really struck a balance between, like, keeping track and being aware of my food intake and not stressing out too much about it. Like, so what I would kind of do, and I fucked up a lot with my last 60-day challenge, but the one thing I didn't fuck up was the most important thing, and it was calorie intake. I nailed it. I would kind of just keep a running total in my head throughout the day, and that was kind of what I would go on. Now that might not work for everyone. I mean, I've got a pretty good caloric awareness. Like I'm really aware of how many calories are in what, because I've just been doing it for so long. But like I'm at the point now where I can do that. I can keep that running total in my head, and it's going to be pretty accurate. So yeah, yeah, that's that. So here's what I'm going to do going forward. I did really like I said, I like the fact that the food log kept me accountable. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to still kind of do a food log, but instead of writing down everything and like putting all the calories, I'm just going to take a picture of everything I eat. That's easy. I have my phone with me all the time. Just take it out, snap a picture, and at the end of the day, I'll put it up in the blog posts and throw it up. So that way I'm staying accountable, but I'm not getting freaky neurotic. And actually be more accountable, because it's like, it's one thing if you write down, I had 1,000 calories worth of chocolate cake, but to actually put a picture of 1,000 calories worth of chocolate cake is fucking embarrassing, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to keep a running total of my protein, though, because I think that's kind of important. That's also easier to keep track of. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go have some dinner. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you later. Peace.